Hey guys, I just wanted to give you an update on kind of where we were with things. I know it's been a while since I've posted. Um, just been busy with getting the shop up and going. Been kind of working on my own little projects and stuff. Wanted to kind of run you through where I was at with things. I mean, the old 3800 Miata sitting back here, and the old girl needed to get torn apart. That was a while back. Ended up having the rear end break on it. It kind of just snapped. Where the original Miata rear end mounted in the rear. I got a 488 for it to put in, but I just haven't really had the time to do it, which I mean mainly because of the old Grand Prix here, but we'll get to that here in just a second. You know, I'm not sure if I'm really going to continue on with this build because the potential that the Grand Prix is starting to show. The Miata is still a fun little car, but I'm just not sure if I'm going to be able to get it to where I want it anytime soon. So I'm kind of considering maybe parting ways with it and then coming back to a project like that later on. But the Grand Prix, she was a front wheel drive, 3800 5-speed car, but made some slight changes to that. As you can see, we got the Ford 9-inch in the rear now, and then it's kind of a mess, but we got our cage that's being installed here, and then that's a 4L80E you see there. And then if we come up to the front, once I get the hood popped here, I kind of decided that the 3800 wasn't the way that I wanted to go anymore, so I ripped that out and started to get that in there. So currently have a 6.0 iron block out of a Chevy truck, and then the 4L80E out of that same truck. I'm running the Camaro K-member. Had to build in custom control arms. Surprisingly, everything that fits underneath this hood. Pretty happy about that because, you know, we can kind of keep that sleeper status. And yes, it is going to be keeping the Steelies, so don't worry about that. But yeah, I mean, so far, what's left to do at this point on this thing is I need to get my coilovers mounted up in the rear here, and then I have to actually weld a bar going across from right here over, and then bring the rest of the cage down into that. I kind of configured things as if it was a Fox body Mustang. I mean, really any Mustang all the way up to the 2000s had the same suspension configuration. But as far as axle width goes, it's the same as a Fox body. You can see that I kind of have the wheels stick, you know, in a little bit. I'd have to run spacers on the rear for standard street wheels and tires, but you know, as far as, you know, some smaller drag slicks or DOT approved drag radials go, I'll be able to have a little bit of dish on my wheel. I'll be able to get some decent meat on the tires, having it set in a little bit like that. So, you know, so far things haven't been going too bad. I got to build a cross member for it still. I need to do some wiring. It's not going to have AC. It's not going to have heat. There's not going to be a heater box. There's going to be no windshield wipers. This thing's primarily just going to be a, you know, a strip car. Don't get me wrong, I am going to take it on the street, you know, primarily just for racing. I mean, you know, I'm setting this thing on kill. The previous owner, Greg Wright, the guy who built this car originally when it was 3800, that's the one thing that he always said was, you know, set that thing on kill and you know, make it kick some ass. So I'm taking it to the next level. You know, I'm going to be running NA at first. Just because of cost effectiveness. I ended up with an LSA supercharger here. I still have to get a lid for it, and a heat exchanger, and pump, and lines, and whatnot, but I was planning on going turbo at first. I was going to try to run a, you know, like 76mm turbo or whatever, you know, single, but I just got too good of a deal on the supercharger and a couple other parts. So I decided to go ahead and go that route for now. So I'm going to rock the NA for a little while, kind of get the thing tuned in, dialed in, make sure that it is, holding up well as far as the structure of the car goes. And then, once I know that things are going to be okay, I'll proceed with gathering up the parts to get that supercharger on. So, I'm kind of exercising the idea of wanting to get different heads and things like that also before I get that supercharger on there. So it should be pretty fun. I'm wanting to shoot for the 500 to 600 horsepower range on the 85 with the supercharger. Hopefully I can keep stock pulley on it. So I like to run that for a little bit, and then once I really get things rolling, then I'll come back to doing the turbo setup. I got a buddy here in town, Bobby. He wants to get into my head that I'm going to do twin turbos, and that'd be the way to go, just because of the way that the room is in the engine bay. So, we'll kind of see where it goes. Let me know what you think about the whole Miata thing. I mean, I love the car. I had a lot of fun with it. There was still a lot more to do. I needed to get, exhaust manifolds and everything on it. I did sell some of the parts from the engine, so, even if you guys could somehow convince me to keep on going with it, I'd be throwing a stock 3800 back in it. But even then, I mean, we're talking about a car that weighs probably less than 2,000 pounds with, even a stock L67 3800. I mean, we're still looking at 240 horsepower. So, it would be pretty decent. So, anyhow, don't mind the mess, but we got the shop up and going. Got ourselves a lift now. Got ourselves a tire change, a balancer. We've been really getting things rolling. It hasn't been going too bad. I just really haven't had the time to make the videos. Eventually here, I'd like to introduce you to the guy that I have working with me. His name's Liam. Kind of grew up with him. He lived right down the street from me. Pretty good guy. He's got a 93 Cutlass Sierra wagon. It's a cruiser. It's got the wood panels on it and everything. Just a real sweet looking car. He's actually going to be building a system in that. Take you over. I'm sure he'd want to show you the sub himself, but he's actually going to be running a FI SP4 dual 1 ohm, I think it is, subwoofer. And this thing here is a beast. I mean, just an absolute monster. So, he's had that system in there before, but it was just running a standard, ported box. It wasn't a wall or anything like that. And I think his goal was wanting to go with a wall. So it'll definitely be something interesting. He doesn't have a YouTube channel or anything like that, so I'm going to try to get some coverage on that, so that way you guys can kind of see, what all he's doing with that. And kind of just keep the channel going. I mean, once again, I haven't really posted a whole lot, but I've just been so busy with running the shop and working on people's cars. So, we pretty much do it all here. Custom work and just regular automotive repair work. I mean, for example, we got this Impala here, just working on a lifter problem that it has. I mean, if you want to see here, this thing, you can see that the rocker arms are just flopping around in here. So, we get fun little projects in here like this. I mean, it's just, you never know what you're going to see when it comes to, owning a shop. It's definitely been a different experience for me. I've got a pretty good support system. A lot of friends that help me out with keeping this thing going, and my family is in full support of it. So it's definitely been an experience. I haven't been starting it necessarily with a whole lot of money to do it with. So kind of just the skills that I have and the tools that I had already is pretty much what started this place up. So we're going on about, I don't know, I think about 7-8 months now of being open. So we're still here, so that's a good sign. Been getting new equipment and stuff, so I guess it's been working out pretty well. So anyhow, yeah, check back on the Grand Prix. I mean, you can add me on my Instagram. It's Darkside Customs. You got to spell dark with an E. That's just because of Darke County. So I'll be posting more of this and kind of showing you what's going on with it. Trying to have it out by the spring. I'm really only about 4 or 5 months into the project anyways. I've pretty much already got a roller sitting here, a rear-wheel drive roller. I get a cross member in that thing. I've already got the oil pan made and on it. Got the steering all hooked up. I mean, I'm not far off from having a running driving rear-wheel drive swap Grand Prix. It's just I just got to crack down and get that time to actually focus on it and get some things done. So I've got some other fun projects coming in. I got my buddy Austin Reed. He's got I think it's 2002 or 2001 Bonneville. He's doing a pretty badass 3800 build on it. Just a massive turbo, custom turbo setup, 6-speed F40 manual swap. He's got all the stuff to do it. He's kind of wanting to bring it here to get it finished up. It still needs mounts made, CV axles. Pretty much the whole thing still needs to be done. But hopefully that'll come in the near future. I got my other buddy Tage. He's got a 2006, I want to say, or 2007 Grand Prix GXP. It's got the 5.3 in it. It's cursed with having that 4T65E, so we're going to be taking that out, putting the 4T80E in it. So that'll be kind of a fun project. I'd like to get some, get some video on and kind of show you what's all going on there. So, anyhow, I hope that's a good enough update for you guys. Like I said, let me know in the comments what you think about, the Miata. I know there's going to be some people upset about it because, that car never really got the chance to be fully finished anyways, but it's just, I'm trying to think about what's going to give me the most power. Is it going to be the Miata or is it going to be the Grand Prix? It's got to be the Grand Prix. It's going to weigh a little bit more, but having a 6.0 and that massive amounts of torque, massive amounts of power, once it gets a supercharger on it, should be a pretty fun ride. So, anyhow, until next time, thanks for watching. See you guys later.